I want you to listen to this reading from the letter to the Colossians. May he strengthen you in his glorious might, with ample power to meet whatever comes, with fortitude, patience, and joy, and to give thanks to the Father, who has made you fit to share the heritage of God's people in the realm of light. I want you to notice the positive quality of those words. Ample power. And this is what Christianity is about. It's living our lives to the full out of that ample power of God. And living them, as St. Paul puts it, with fortitude. That is, with courage. Not afraid of difficulties, not afraid of ourselves and not afraid of others. And above all, not afraid of God. And not afraid of him because we are united to his power source. I think one of the misunderstandings people have about meditation is that they see it as something passive. They see it perhaps in terms of surrender. And the words that have been used in the traditional religious vocabulary have been words like surrender, abandonment, and so forth. But we have to understand those words in the context of the experience of the power and the joy that St. Paul speaks of. And I want to suggest to you tonight that perhaps a way for us to understand what the Christian experience is about and how we might enter it in meditation is not so much surrender or abandonment, but empathy with God. If you want to use some modern analogies, it's like getting onto the same wavelength. And all the essential ideas of St. Paul come from union with the power source. Now, what prevents that union? The only thing that can prevent it is what we might describe as self-consciousness or hyper-self-consciousness. I don't think it's any exaggeration to say that original sin is self-consciousness, which means divided consciousness. And it's as though there's a mirror between God and ourselves. And every time we look into the mirror, we see ourselves. And the purpose of meditation is to smash that mirror. So that we look not at reflections of things. Because as you know, if you look at reflections of things, you see everything backwards, including yourself. And the essence of meditation is, as it were, taking the kingdom of heaven by storm. That mirror must be smashed. And it's overcoming self-consciousness. That is what Jesus is talking about when he says, no one can be a follower of mine unless he leaves self behind. Now, it doesn't take much knowledge of life for each of us to come quickly to the conclusion that this self-consciousness, seeing the whole of the universe revolve around us, this self-consciousness is an appalling state to be in. And perhaps that is what brings most of us to meditation. We don't want to look in that mirror and see everything backwards for the rest of our lives. We want to look through it, beyond ourselves. And we want to look with courage into the infinite mystery of God. But when we begin to feel that loss, that first loss of self-consciousness, when we begin to enter into the deep silence of meditation, we can become disturbed. And we can take fright. And this is where we need the support of brethren. And that's why our regular meetings are so important. Because we need to realize that faith is a gift. Given to us, St. Paul tells us, in abundance. If only we will be open to it and continue hammering at that mirror until it shatters utterly. And we hammer at it with our mantra. And there is nothing passive whatsoever about meditation. It is a state of growing and deepening openness to the power source of all reality. The power source that we can only describe in words as God, who is love. And the aim of our life, the invitation of our life, is nothing less than complete union with that power source. And what are the fruits of unself-consciousness? Joy, love, peace, self-control, all the things that St. Paul speaks about as the fruits of the Spirit. The state of being where we are free to be ourselves, free to receive the gift of our life without fear, in a state of grace, of love. Now, St. Paul also mentions in the text patience. And each one of us must learn that patience. And there is no greater school of patience than the willingness faithfully to recite your mantra day after day, not concerned with progress, not concerned with results, but aware only that there is only the pilgrimage. And if we're not on the pilgrimage, we are nowhere. And our call and our destiny is to be in Christ. Listen to St. Paul again. May he strengthen you in his glorious might with ample power to meet whatever comes with fortitude, patience, and joy. That's what meditation is about. Openness to that ample power of God. And then the confidence that comes, knowing that we can meet whatever comes. Not out of our own resources, not out of our own self-consciousness, but out of the consciousness of Christ, his consciousness of his Father and our Father. And that consciousness is to be found in our hearts, beyond all mirrors, beyond all images. And that consciousness is not threatening. That consciousness is the gentle power of Jesus Christ.